We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger, and fresh and new, but still with me always.
Well, I wouldn't say new. I mean, it is a repeat.
New to the show.
It's a repeat.
All right, and it's true.
First
I'm
live.
stuck with you.
Video accent. Lukas Ellinger.
And to the left, the cheer captain himself.
Josh Saintz.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, you guys. We just got back from drinking beers and watching Thor, Ragnarok. We're going to totally dive into it and get into all of that. But first, we have something we need to address. It's Jeremiah's birthday, and he's not here with us.
Happy birthday, Jeremiah. We miss you.
We totally miss you. He's out. He had to have butt surgery. We hope that your butt is healing just fine, Jeremiah.
I thought it was that addictomy.
Addictomy? Yeah. But we're going to throw it over to Lukas for the most important part of the show, because we always digress. So, to Lukas, the most important part?
The beer.
Nice. Way to go.
Right?
It's like he's watched or listened before.
Maybe.
Right, yeah.
Once or twice. You never know. You never know. We have Pike Monk's Uncle. It's a triple ale. It's got a 9%, and it's brewed out of Seattle, Washington.
Nice job. Way to go. We don't even need Jay.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We love you, Jay. We miss you. All jokes.
Yeah.
So, first we get to admire its beauty. It's a little bit cloudy. Nice and gold.
It's very gold. It's very nice.
It's kind of
smells
florally.
hoppy.
Yeah, hoppy too.
Yeah, it smells hoppy. Which is cool. I like hops.
Right?
It smells pretty light,
It does.
at least compared to a Four Loko.
Oh my god. Oh, I destroyed your candy.
Yeah, that was my personal
I've never had a Four Loko, so before we saw Thor, we had Four Locos. And we should clarify. We had one Four Loko. We didn't have four Four Locos.
No.
Yeah.
And I had none for Loco.
For a good reason. They were intense.
Yep.
Yes, very
Yep.
intense. Yeah. I'm hoping the beer is going to be better than a Four Loko.
It's got to be better than ass with a taste of lemonade.
Yeah, right. A little bit of lemon in there.
We are open to sponsorships from Four Loko.
Yeah, right. I would drink it if they want to
just-
sponsor a show. Yeah. So let's give it the real test and let's try it.
I'm in. Sign me up.
To all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's
get
get
nerd
Nerdbuzzed.
Cheers, because we love each other.
Ding, ding,
All right?
ding.
We don't discriminate. You guys don't, apparently.
Bought that movie ticket. Huh.
It's interesting. It's
very like malty.
it definitely has some malty. It's still got some hops. It's almost like
It's very malty in your face and finishes hoppy.
I think it finishes really sweet, actually.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. I mean, it is 9%, so I think they're gonna utilize some sweetness to balance out that alcohol. But it's almost got this like floral quality to it.
Yeah.
Do you guys get
Yeah,
that
I
at
can
all,
see
or is that just me?
No, I could see that.
I know we need. Jay
It's pretty
for this
light.
part.
Yeah.
It is pretty light. It's
Jay-
it's pretty easy to drink. It doesn't leave an abrasive feel or flavor in your mouth, which is nice.
Yeah.
I personally, I would drink this over a Four Loko,
Yeah.
and it's only a couple percentage lower. So yeah, right. Yeah. So, but we're gonna keep drinking it, and chances are it's gonna get better because that's what happens when you drink stuff. So first up, our nerd play. We're still playing Metal Gear Solid 5. We get it for free.
Metal
It's an
Gear
amazing game.
Solid.
That's right. From Jack, the intern, in the intern camp in the corner,
Back again.
trying to survive.
Without Jeremiah, my body has grown weak. I've grown sick.
I like that everything is Jeremiah's fault.
Please come back. This is your fault.
I think he meant that endearing, but it's his fault. That's how we're going to read that.
Go with it.
You guys played Metal Gear Solid 5? Should we talk about that real quick? You've played it,
I
right,
guarantee
bro?
I played
Yes,
it.
you've played. I want to say you played the crap out of that game a little bit, at least.
Probably. I need to see. I'm horrible with.
You don't remember Metal
They
Gear
all
Solid
just
5?
blend.
I put you on the
together.
spot.
Which one? Which one is it?
PlayStation exclusive too, right?
No, I think since. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I work
3?
at GameStop.
Since 3?
Wait, since what?
Since Metal Gear Solid 3, it's not been exclusive.
Oh, I thought you were asking. No, 4. Xbox 360 couldn't handle 4. It would have had 7 discs. Been like a Final Fantasy 14 fiasco.
Oh.
So they were just like, nope, not dealing with it.
Huh.
But they have it for Xbox One though.
Yeah. That's,
yeah.
I think maybe not PC. Maybe it is PC. I think you can kind of get it on anything now. It's an amazing game. Super cool. It's free. Speaking of that topic, I actually read today they're redoing LA Noire, which I think is a super amazing game. They're remastering it, right, and re-releasing it for PS4. And I heard today,
everything's a remaster.
right?
I'm over it.
Right.
Yeah. Totally played it. Googled
played
imaged. Yeah, that one's actually pretty rad.
It's only because you play so many games that you can't remember that one specifically.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what.
No, that's exactly.
Yeah. You're so.
If
nerdy
it
about
wasn't
games.
for being brothers, you just wouldn't understand.
Your trophy
right, that's
level is 1% of 1. So, dude, don't even.
Let's not even bring up trophies today.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not talking about trophies right
But
now.
it's a shiny damn trophy.
Yeah.
You know what was a real trophy and a treasure? Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, we're gonna get
Thor,
right to it.
Thor
Segue.
3
Nice
Ragnarok.
segue.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome. Tip of the beanie.
Well, before we do that, play Metal Gear Solid 5 because it's free. Play it. We're gonna review, I think, next week because Jay will be back. We'll review that. I'm gonna do my best to really crack out on Psycho Pass, which is their anime. So we'll hopefully review that next week. We'll do Metal Gear Solid 5. And before we get into Thor, it's really important. If we're gonna sponsor anybody, it should be ourselves. So please shrink the screen because I'm sure you're enjoying our faces in their full glory. Hit subscribe, tell your friends. If we entertain you in any way, it really does matter. Please help us out. 100 subscribers, we get our own YouTube channel. Really makes a difference. Do it. Mash the button.
Smash it.
I hope the button doesn't work
Give
ever
it
again
the
after
plague
you
that
subscribe
I
to us.
have.
Create fake accounts
A mild
and subscribe multiple times.
Actually.
And if you would like to wear some Nerdbuzzed swag, you can go to patreon.com/nerdbuzzed, and for $35 or more, I always want to stress or more, you can get yourself a Nerdbuzzed garb and a sticker and a magnet. So go for it. And as always, you can go to nerdbuzz.com where you can listen to any episode of Nerdbuzz or watch it 100% free as opposed to
Any other percentage of free. We miss you, Jeremiah.
So do we already say happy birthday to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All
let's say
right,
it again.
let's say happy birthday to Jay. Let's give him a cheers. It's an
yeah,
excuse
to
to
Jay.
drink beer. Right?
Clink, clink.
I love it. This is
I'm gonna
just
commit
so
this time.
rubby
We're
in,
committing.
right?
Boom.
Happy birthday! You're not here. We're gonna drink beer.
Yep.
It is pretty good. It's
I
got
like it.
it's got a lot of flavor, but really none of it is too abrasive. I'm pretty stoked.
Much better than
Kind of like the
Loco.
monkey on the bottle.
Yes, I like that. That's not saying much, but yes, you are true. That is very true. Okay, so let's dive into it because it's the meat of our show, and I think before we really dive into what we thought of watching the movie, there was a lot of hype for this movie, and I've been super excited about it for a really long time now, and we finally got to go see it. So I'd kind of like to talk about the hype for the movie, and what were you expecting before you actually went into the theater and watched it? What do you think? What do you want to go? A guest first? What do you think, Lucas? Throw it over to you. You're taking Jay's
Sure.
place.
Okay,
Pressure's on.
bring it on. Do it.
So what were you expecting from Thor Ragnarok before we actually went to go see it?
Honestly, I kind of expected a downhill kind of slide, and it did not do that. It was all uphill. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you have any
horribly
concern when you watched the trailer? Your concern was that you thought
awesome. I thought that was it.
you saw the
I thought that was
the
the
highlights
glory.
of the movie.
Yeah,
and
it was
that
like,
was gonna be
oh,
it.
cool. It's gonna be a bunch of story. We all have seen the trailer. He fights Hulk. Okay, cool. Oh, we see the classic line. Oh, yeah, I won Hulk.
I was
like, oh,
definitely-
that's it. Cool.
Well, I
There's
was
the
definitely
movie.
concerned that the battle with the Hulk was going to be this like super climax of the movie that the rest of the movie was going to kind of be
right.
structured
Like that was
around.
it. That was
Yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
that was going to be
that
all
was
that was
not
going to be there.
the case. It was awesome.
It was really good. We're going to get into how the movie was, but before we do that, what did you think, Josh? As far as going into this, what'd you tell yourself?
Well, I've liked Thor in the Avengers movies. I wasn't as big of a fan as Dark World as I like the first Thor better than Dark World, so I wasn't sure
Yeah.
where this one was going. But by all the trailers and the accounts, the way that Marvel's just continued to kind of step up their game, I was expecting to have a really good time at the theater. So
You were expecting to come away. You didn't really have any concerns.
no,
When you watched the
No.
trailer, anything, you were like, I'm sold.
Marvel's just hitting home runs left and right as far as I'm concerned. So
It'd be very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I had a little bit of concern with, again, I thought that the Hulk fight with Thor was going to be this big climb, going to be what the movie was all centered around, and that we'd seen the most impactful part of the movie in the trailers already, and it was ruined by trailers. Again, I totally agree with Lukas. That didn't happen. I was also a little bit concerned that it was going to be like super cheesy, a little bit too much in that direction, based on all the trailers, because they kept highlighting those moments, or at least even that we'd like seen the major fight. Basically, I guess I thought the trailer spoiled the hell out of this movie. Like, we saw the major fight and we saw all the best jokes in the movie in this trailer, because it really kind of emphasized
Sure.
it and sold it that way, right?
Well, I mean, and it all has to end at some point, right? They have to have a failure at some point.
Yeah, right? Like, it just can't be all unicorns and
Awesome.
rainbows.
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole time,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I did have a lot of concern about that when I was going into it. And as far as, like, the magical characters in Marvel, they've never really been my favorite. I always feel like magic is like your scapegoat.
yeah,
It's like, oh, but I'm magical. I didn't necessarily like the physical, powerful part of it.
like
is
Doctor Strange kind of.
kind
magic
of,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You know, it's like I've never been as big of a fan of that. Like,
but wait, I'm awesome.
Or Scarlet
yeah,
Witch.
it's like an RPG game. I always pick the brute.
Yeah,
Right? Like, I
right.
just want to be the guy that takes everybody to Pound Town. But the main,
Pun
like,
intended.
right, totally,
Yeah.
always. This is Nerdbuzzed. So I definitely had some concerns when I went into this movie. I think, like Lukas was saying, a lot of those were alleviated pretty much instantly when we started watching this.
Oh, I'd give it the first 15 seconds.
It
of
gets
the
right
movie.
in. It gets right into the action.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
was phenomenal.
Yeah. What do you think over there, intern? Did you have concerns about the trailer as he tries to stay alive?
Yes, I did. Sorry, I'm a mess right now. I thought it was gonna be like the other Thor or the other Thor movies, right? A lot of filler, a lot of downtime, a lot of look, we're on Earth, just kind of hanging out, and just dumb side characters, and yeah, I mean, the trailers looked really good, but I just thought it was gonna try to be too hard, like Guardians of the Galaxy, while still having all the faults of the first two Thor movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you really hit on some really key points, right, on your concerns there that I think, again, were alleviated pretty quickly in the movie.
Yeah.
I think side characters is one. I'm a huge fan of the side characters of this movie.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah, me too.
it was really cool how they like they joke in the trailers, they call their team the Revengers, right? But they totally are. Like,
Right.
they
Yeah.
so are that in the
Because
movie.
they're going after
Well,
revenge.
Yeah, right?
It's just the whole way it was even brought up.
Yeah, it was
What
like,
do you call yourselves?
it was totally earned.
the Revengers.
Yeah.
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 What was that?
Oh, I'd say it was totally earned by the time it came there. It wasn't
Oh,
just
for
like,
sure.
oh, look at funny meme. It's like all the jokes are, I don't know. It was hilarious. I took a couple notes, and like my main thing was that it was really funny.
Super funny.
Yeah.
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 Literal punchline after punchline in this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that?
It,
I like
Like
that.
It
I like
never
that
slowed
adorable
down.
Yeah, that little rock guy, man. He was
Oh
busting
my
up,
God.
too, with his little docile
There was
voice.
so much
Yeah.
hello.
comedy relief in this movie, but so much like serious intensity going on at the same time. Like, this movie was full of itself from the get-go.
Yeah.
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 Super amazing.
Which is the way you got to go.
Oh, for sure.
You're
So,
a god.
right? I think this movie really drives home the fact that Thor's reality is not the same as the rest of the Avengers. It just isn't. Like, he totally exists in this god world where the petty problems of mortals are beneath him. You know, like, these are like real Asgard issues, but even those he can just kind of have fun with because he's a god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that really showed true in it. And I even think it makes the first Thor movie and the second one more relevant because they drove that theme home.
Well, I mean, she was the god of death too. The main. So that's the most opposition you can give a god is pit him against another god. So
right, it's like his only contender.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or hers, his, whoever.
Yeah.
So before we dive into spoilers, because they might come up, we're gonna try to be good about not totally ruining the movie.
Oh, they're coming up.
Yeah, but let's just go. I guess across the table. I guess is it good, bad, great? What do you think? Just tell the people. Should you go see it? If you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen. Fast forward.
100%. If you're for or against Thor movies or Avenger movies, you need to see it. It's going to change your opinion, regardless.
Oh, for sure.
You're either more for it or you're now for it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think this movie has set a new standard, really for what Marvel's doing with movies, and you have to go see it. You have to just experience the movie for yourself and just go in with the intention of having fun because that's completely what's going to happen. It's a fun movie. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I completely agree. I don't know how much everything sticks to the comic book lore of all that, but as a guy who's just going to the movies and a fan of, this Marvel universe, it hit all the right notes. I think they really nailed the formula with the first Guardians of the Galaxy with the comic, the comedy mixed in with good plot line and all that stuff. So
I would say if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think especially that first movie, this is right up your alley. This movie, I came away from it feeling the same way, except for the music. Like I really feel like Guardians of the Galaxy was really driven by the music. The trailer was driven by the music for Thor. I really kind of thought there'd be more of that kind of era of music in it. I was kind of trying to listen throughout the movie, and really the only one song I really noticed that stood out is the Led Zeppelin song. I was a little bit, if I have one complaint and it's super, super minor, that would be my only one, really, about this whole movie. I wanted more of that, that just like late 70s, early 80s, almost like a hair metal kind of music feel to like the driving drums to like lead some scenes and some heavy edge guitar to come in a little bit more often here and there. Other than that Led Zeppelin song, I didn't really notice.
There was a little bit during the Thor and Hulk fight. It changed a little bit.
A little bit
but
in there?
Not much.
Yeah.
It still started with da-da-da, and then it went
well,
and then it was like, all right, heavy bass time, fight.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, we're done with all that.
I was expecting more too, because even like the trailer, the text that they used, for the movie title, it just looks like an 80s theme.
Oh, like a Megadeth cover, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is really what they kind of sold those trailers at. So I was expecting a little bit more of that vibe. Super, super minor complaint. I mean, didn't affect my opinion of the movie really at all. I'm scraping for things to point out as negatives about this movie. I always feel like when we go to review something, it's important to point out any sort of flaws that we see with something, and I'm really struggling with this.
I say grab your kids and go see it. I mean, I got nothing.
I like that you're just like, bring the kids, bring the family.
Oh, it would be fine. It would. It would be 100% fine.
Lukas is our classic guest who, you know what I'm going to say, who almost would have shown his son Deadpool.
If they didn't have all the blood and the swearing.
if Deadpool was 5 minutes long.
What does that movie look like?
Right? He's going to show his kids.
But I would totally take him to see that movie.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Come on, my hands will get tired by the end of Deadpool. Stop looking the ears.
Yeah. Really, for me, I think Thor Ragnarok was really almost my Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It really was. I really put it up that high. When I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, I was blown away. I just never expected that from that movie at all. And I came away from that movie completely shocked. And when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that movie's really, really good. And I do really enjoy it. I think the set of those two movies are awesome together. And there's some really cool things that happened in it. But this movie, I have to say, I think it bumps Guardians 2 down on the list for me.
Yeah, it does to me too. Guardians of the Galaxy is still probably my favorite movie of all of all of them that they've come out with so far, and I think this one's probably my second favorite now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's saying
good.
a lot.
It's really good. So
Yeah.
I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy too,
yeah.
last weekend.
Yeah. And
So this trumps it by far.
by far. What
By
about the
far.
first Guardians of the Galaxy?
By far, no, it's not even a comparison. This took everything that was awesome and just said we're making a movie with it.
Yeah. I really think I came away from this movie. This movie was such an awesome tribute to what happened to Thor and Hulk during these last couple movies, where we've all been thinking, well, what the hell's going on with Hork? Hork. I'm just they're a couple now. That's their celebrity name is Hork.
I missed something with the movie.
Yeah. We've had a couple
that.
beers.
Stop that right now.
Thor's a little smoldering.
Yeah. But like in what was it? The Avengers 2. That was the end of Thor and Hulk, as far as we really know. Right? They've been off doing
absolutely.
whatever.
Absolutely.
And
it just left them.
yeah,
Boom.
like Civil War, they weren't in there.
Right.
We've been wondering what's going on. We had Doctor Strange come in, which was awesome in this movie. That end scene in Doctor Strange, it picks up right there. It picks up with all the end of Sokovia that goes on. There's a lot of references in this movie that throw it all the way back to that first Avengers movie, and when we were first kind of introduced to Hulk and Thor. And I love how much of that is intertwined in this movie. So if you've been watching everything all along, all those little Easter eggs are there from everything that Marvel's done. But at the same time, they bring something so fresh and new to the table. It's like the balancing of this movie is so awesome. I keep coming back to that. It's like
And they made Hulk perfect. Like Hulk was Hulk.
Yeah.
oh,
They've done Hulk
That's what we talked
wrong
in the car about.
so many
Best
times.
Hulk appearance
ever,
in any movie.
ever.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
made the story of Hulk and his what would they say, a 2-year gap, I believe.
yeah.
If you made that 2-year gap into a movie, I think that'd be it. That would be the Hulk movie everybody's been waiting for. If that was going to be a solo Hulk movie,
because
would
that is
be
the
it.
Space Hulk movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would be it right there, though.
Yeah, you pretty much get your abridged, like the resolution of your Space Hulk movie in this movie.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm happy with Hulk again.
Yeah, right. Well, and I think that's how Hulk should be sold, is as that the co-star. I don't really want a solo Hulk movie. I've said that countless times on the cast, and I actually didn't know, but before this, Disney doesn't own the rights to a solo Hulk movie. So I think that's emphasized why he's been a cameo character, like a co-star in all these other movies. And I'm a big fan of the way that Disney has been limited with what they can do with Marvel, because I think it's kind of forced them to think outside the box a little bit and go with what they have to work with, and they've done that so well. I've said from the beginning that as far as the comic book world goes, Marvel pretty much sold off all their licenses that were their big money hits, right? Like they sold Spider-Man, they sold X-Men, they sold the Fantastic Four. Those are your like top 3 for Marvel. So when Disney took them over, they were kind of left with what was left over. And everything that they've done are kind of with these secondary characters, and what they've done is just outstanding. It blows me away that they've made such superstars.
But
I think as far as the comic book world goes, they kind of are. Like I kind of think the reason why we got the Avengers was because, at least before movies and everything, like in the comic book world, the reason why the Avengers were brought together was because all those heroes weren't pulling their weight on their own. So they brought them all together to make this awesome team to now sell comics that way, right? And what Disney has done with it, they've done the same thing with it.
Sure. I guess
I
can
think
see
it's
where you're
super
going.
impressive.
I
It's
don't
like
know,
they're
I'm
the
not
second string
I'm not
heroes.
the comic book junkie that you are.
Yeah.
I missed that era in life.
Well, it's super.
I was born, it went digital. You know?
Pretty much, right? It's that gap between us. It really is. But I give a lot of credit to Disney for what they've done and the amount of respect that they treat all these licenses that they've taken over. And I really think Thor Ragnarok is just another shining example of catering to the fans that know that source material and where they're pulling from.
It's the shining example.
Oh, totally. But at the same time, they're not alienating this new audience. Like, you
No.
don't really need to see any of these other Marvel movies. You'll have a different appreciation for it, but you don't need to see those
No.
to come away from this movie and think, that was a really awesome movie.
You might scratch your head a little bit in the beginning, but
Oh, maybe, but it's so
but I don't-
quickly outweighed
yeah,
by
I-
like all of the
I
great
think
action and comedy.
exactly.
Right?
You'll forget about it really quick.
Yeah,
You know what I think for one is this movie. Like, I've liked Thor in the Avengers movies, but his other movies are not really what draw me to like him as a character. But this movie right here has me like big fan of him and what he brings to the team and all that. So
yeah. Well, I think it really made a good example of kind of like along those lines where this movie really made it obvious that, like, if you have an issue with any of those other Thor movies, I would encourage people to almost go back and watch those again.
that's what I'm thinking about doing.
I really think it's a good
watching
idea.
this,
yeah, because I think this movie puts it really into perspective that Thor he's just playing a different game. He just is than the other Avengers, and this movie makes that really clear. And so I think if you go into those other movies with that impression, it might change your outcome of your opinion of that a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what I think happened for me.
Yeah, well, and I've actually done that with a couple other Marvel movies, like Captain America. Not a fan of Captain America really at all. It's not my favorite of the Marvel movies. But after the Avengers and watching Captain America grow from this, like, I finally got accepted into the military to this, like,
the Red
leader,
Skull.
right? And it's like, but to this leader of the Avengers and really standing for what he stands for now with Civil War and everything. If you don't have that Captain America origin movie to have those roots established in, it kind of takes away from the character along the way. Like, that movie's great now, but when that first came out, I wasn't a big fan of it. And so it's kind of, I feel like Thor's
Winter
that
Soldier was what got me. The same thing that this movie did for Thor, Winter Soldier did that for Captain America for me. That was
totally
a freaking awesome movie. So
that opening scene of Winter Soldier when he's running through the ship and just like takes out 3 guys with his shield while he knocks out 2 other dudes on the side, like, that is Captain America from the comics, and it's what we were waiting for until that opening scene of that movie.
my favorite scene. I know we're getting off of Thor a little bit, but when he's got that knife fight with the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
and the combatives that they do is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I like all the Captain Americas.
Yeah,
All of them?
All of them. I think they're all pretty rad.
Did you watch them?
But I know nothing about Captain America other than the movies.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
well,
wonder
I
if
think
that's
there's a lot of people in that boat, though, whereas, like, their introduction to Marvel is what they're seeing in the theaters.
And I really like that it's all very clean. And I can be like, hey, little buddy, come on, my 4-year-old son. Let's watch Captain America together.
for sure. Well, again, it's like that awesome balance of appealing to the fan that knows Thor and knows what he was from the comics, and really capturing that in the movie, but at the same time not alienating this new audience.
Sure.
And being able to,
No, I
again,
get that.
being
I
able to
get
bring
that.
your whole family to the movie, right?
And that's key, right?
Yeah.
That's
especially
100%
for you
key.
guys,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think
We have
my
what,
wife
7
and-
or 8 kids collectively here.
I only have 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, only. Sorry,
One of us is clinically insane. The other one just has 2.
No, just grips.
yeah. But you would take the Lukas level. He would let his kids watch it. What's the Josh level?
I
would
would
you
let-
let your kids watch this movie?
This Thor movie? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All,
Nice.
ten-
I like
all-
that.
all
that
22
your
of them?
guys'
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let most of the kids I know about. watch
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah. Josh
there
is
was-
in the scenario of, I will rent this from Redbox for $1.99 and buy
Well, yeah, you know how much-
Jiffy Pop popcorn or something, right?
be so
That'd be so
expensive.
expensive. Yeah, right. That's what I was
Dude, that'd
thinking.
be insane.
Yeah, break the bank.
How many bags of popcorn do you have to buy to take your whole family to a movie?
Do you do what you did in the theater with us? Do you just buy the one,
Yep.
chow it down, and then
Do they all bring a Ziploc bag?
Yeah,
You just
and-
like walk around and dump it out.
Theater that I go to.
You know?
Theater I go to only does one refill too.
that's a dude.
So
dude,
they-
you should totally take extra bags for the kids.
Yeah.
Just divvy it up and go right back.
That's pretty much what we do. Is we get little trays or something like that.
There will be this picture of Josh at his local theater
All
where
the
it's like
kids-
unlimited popcorn except for this guy.
So funny story. This is a quick aside. It was a Marvel movie. I don't recall what it was, but when I lived in Marysville, we closed out. It was the last showing. It was a late night. Me and my buddy were only a mile away, so we had a couple drinks, walked down there, And when they were closing up, they had a big garbage bag full of popcorn. And I was like, what are you going to do with that popcorn? She's like, oh, we just throw it out. I'm like, no, you're not. I didn't get my refill. So we're walking back with a giant bag of popcorn. Yeah, anyways.
You should have saved that bag, dude. Brought that back next time. Refill? Yeah.
A black trash bag full of popcorn. It was like Santa
Popcorn
Claus.
for life.
Yeah. Oh, my God. My wife comes downstairs and sees it the next day. She's like, what the hell is this? I was like, they're going to throw it away.
Which you said you're a fan of the day-old popcorn, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which my wife's the same way. She'll make a bag of popcorn, eat some,
Yeah.
but leave the rest for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really?
I can't do it.
I can't do it either. It
can't
gets
do
like
it.
weird and soft.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
My parents, like, they'll intentionally make popcorn because they got one of those, kind of a theater-style popper. They'll make it the day before I come over because then I'll snack on it when I get over there, so.
Nice. And how bummed are you when there's no popcorn and you go over to your parents' house?
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
You gotta eat it hot? What is
I can
this?
tell. I can see he's like lighting. He's
what is
already
this
getting
fresh
excited about it.
popcorn
Yeah,
smell
come
in here?
Yeah.
Like squishy, buttery old popcorn.
So let's see if we go try to somewhat bring this back to Ragnarok. I do want to take a moment to talk about the the supporting cast of this movie.
The Valkyrie chick was badass.
Super awesome,
Yeah.
right? I think
I have nothing bad to say about any character in the movie.
none of them. You can't think of one character that you had an issue with.
What about
I'm also
what
struggling
about the
with
guy
you
with the
while we sit here.
M16s?
I actually loved that.
Well,
That was such a
that was
Rambo
awesome.
moment in the movie. It's like,
Destroy.
and like in the comic
names
books,
of my vehicles have now changed.
yeah, right, for
You
sure.
know?
Yeah, and the like in the comics, that guy has guns like that. Like it's awesome. I think the big, as far as researching and doing whatever I could, the big one that I noticed was that Hela, I believe, is actually like Loki's daughter in the comics. Oh, Jack's on it.
So is Fenris, and so is the snake. God, what's its name? Well, the snake didn't show up in the movie, but it's like the world snake. That's Loki's, one of his sons that he had with a troll, a frost giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so the snake you're talking about, is that the one that Thor was
No.
mentioning?
This is like the snake that gets so big that it's like wrapped around the world. It's eating itself. Not the joke snake.
Okay.
That was pretty funny.
That was...
Yeah. There were so many like little teeny jokes in this movie that I can't really get over how excited I was to watch this movie after not seeing Hulk or Thor for a couple movies now, right? Yeah. Like I've been wondering what's been going on, and
You've been
then
missing. You've been missing.
I have
them.
been missing them actually.
No, everybody
And
Mark
has.
Ruffalo's got to eat.
right? Yeah. and I've so this whole time I've been thinking like, what's going on with it? And it was so worth the wait. It so was. Like they brought everything to the table that I wanted, and it actually mattered. Like it felt like they weren't just grabbing reasons.
No, it was all
left and
relevant.
right. Like
Everything
it all
was
mattered.
relevant.
There were
Absolutely.
so many things about this movie that threw back to all these other Avenger movies, and like it was so relevant. It really, really was. It matters in the MCU. I'm totally in love with the MCU. I think it baffles me that it's been as many movies as it's been, and they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because this movie, I think, is different than any other Marvel movie I've seen. It takes notes from different ones, but this movie is a really clear sign that Disney is learning from what they've been making, and they just keep kind of upping their game. We just had our sequel episode, and that was like the point of the sequel episode, right? Is like, how do you up your game and do what you just did without regurgitating it, but at the same time not alienating that core audience? And it's like, I don't know what a better example is than what Marvel's doing with Disney, I guess, is really what I should give the credit to.
Yeah, it totally blew the first two movies out of the water.
It did, but at the same
Thor
time,
movies.
it made those movies more
Yeah,
relevant.
'cause
Like it really did.
establishes Thor more, so it's like Captain America. Now he's kind of like, he's not an anti-hero, but he's a lot like shadier than he was before. In the first movie, he's like the perfect, golden boy patriot.
Oh,
It's
yeah, he's
cool
the
to
Boy
watch him
Scout.
Become this, yeah. And same with Thor. He's like kind of a a dingus.
He's the bumbling idiot. He totally
Yeah,
is.
well, but he's kind of mean. But now he's like really, like he's nice, but he's even more powerful, and he's even more bumbling. And I don't know. Like his character's improved so much, and it would be cool to watch where he came from.
I think I really am actually going to go back and watch. I own all the Marvel movies. I just, as soon as they come out, I get them on Blu-ray, and it's like I don't feel guilty about it at all, and I start watching them again. And I'm going to do that with these Thor movies, and I think I'm going to be totally reinvigorated to maybe even go see this one again. Like,
Yeah.
This is totally just revived Thor for me, and I can't really say enough good things about
No,
it.
absolutely. Yeah, what is that? November 12th? We'll everybody binge watch Marcus's house. Feel free to come. Day old popcorn required.
We're all going to crack
We're
out
all
on
gonna
some Thor
watch 'em.
movies.
All of them.
Yeah,
in a
well,
row. I think that's a phenomenal idea.
Well, and I think it really comes back to, again, that Captain America mentality where I just did not care about that Captain America movie when it first came out. It just wasn't relevant to me. It felt like this big step backwards. I wasn't
you.
a big fan of it.
To you, though.
And I'm sure there's people out there that love it. Right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Watch what you say.
But I think now that these other Captain America movies have come out, it's reestablished and made that movie so relevant. It really does matter. It defines why Captain America is the way he is. And I love that this Thor movie, it really put into perspective that the reason why Thor is so like dismissive and kind of comes across as this kind of bumbling idiot compared to the other Avengers is because these are piddly little stupid problems. Like his problem scale is so much grander than the rest of the Avengers. Like he's dealing with galaxies and universes.
But not really.
Oh, it totally is.
Kind of.
What?
Yeah,
He's a
kind
god.
Of. No, I get that, but his dad's...
He can call down and rain thunder on you.
Yeah, but his dad's always been kind of like, go deal with it, because if you can't handle it, I gotcha. Right? So, I mean, it is kind of these pettily little problems.
He's a god that still lives at home, but he got banished. Yeah. They kicked him out.
Temporarily. We've all been there, right?
Bad issue.
Yeah, right. It's a daddy issue. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's kind of. And, yeah, where it left off, it kind of left off where he's more in tune with Earth than anything else, I think.
Oh, no, I think that...
it was all this big full circle scale of how it's ending.
I think by the end of this movie, I had a lot more appreciation for the perspective of Thor, I guess. Maybe that's the way to say it?
Yeah, I guess he's coming more into perspective with not being a bumbling idiot and understanding Earth.
Oh, yeah, I think that it establishes that. It's not so much that he is a bumbling idiot, it's just that he doesn't get it because it doesn't matter.
Right. No, he finally has his Keanu Reeves moment, right?
Whoa. Yeah, totally. I knew that was coming in stereo, right? We're not brothers.
We're just a big fan of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. And Point Break is amazing. Maybe this has also inspired Point Break for me. I might have to go watch that again.
Yeah.
One or two.
I didn't get that reference in the movie. I was like, what?
The Point Break?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I didn't get it. I don't think I've ever seen Point Break.
What? Wow.
Sorry.
Josh, you are always forever
like
the
not the
captain.
new- not
but
the-
your nerd cred went from here to here.
I
do it all the time.
Not
It's
even the
just-
new one?
What?
I didn't even
Like
know
they
they
remade
had
a new one.
I didn't
No,
know
don't
that.
watch that. Don't watch that.
But I mean, you haven't even seen that.
No, I haven't seen that.
Wow.
It's got that movie is so Swayze and so Keanu. You have to watch it.
It's
All right?
amazing.
Point Break is amazing. It really is.
No,
I'll add it to my homework. I still haven't watched Robot Jocks.
What?
But I did. I did watch the other one you asked me to watch. I just don't remember what it is right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Then you got to rewatch it.
Yeah.
New homework. You failed the test.
Yeah.
Redo the semester.
I love homework when it's watching television.
Yeah, right. So I wasn't sure. I do want to mention one thing, and I wasn't sure exactly how to do it, but there's been this big thing this year about like Wonder Woman and how Wonder Woman has been this awesome like female character and super empowering, and that women can be badass too. And I have to say, I really think this movie trumps that as far as
challenges.
challenges. Okay, it challenges that.
It's a challenge. I think it is a challenge. I wouldn't say
What
trumps.
if, what if
because
there would have been more music in this movie, and that music would have revolved around Valkyrie Chick's power guitar solo?
I feel like it would have been better.
That would have been what
That
it
would have
was.
been-
That's what you
but-
were missing.
No, I think it's a good challenge. I think it really is. I think with, the new Wonder Woman's coming out with more movies. I mean, that's a fact.
Yes.
And I think that this movie has paved the way for future movies of superhero content, period, from here on out.
Oh, totally.
I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter your character. It doesn't matter your role. It's paving a way. Female or not. I mean, the females within this movie are badass.
Oh, totally.
I mean, and
whether they're like part of the hero team or a villain.
I think if Wonder Woman came into this movie and wanted to pick a fight, she's gonna get owned. She's gonna get her ass whooped.
What if her theme song plays?
I feel like it did. I mean,
right. And then we'll hit that Led Zeppelin like
Right.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
and then it's just fair game.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Your lasso's not saving you now, right? I think that this has definitely set a new standard, and I think, but I think you have to give credit to Wonder Woman for doing that.
Yeah. I feel a little differently about it myself. I think that this is even a little bit more empowering, for women, or it may be, because they took a female role and made that the villain that a god was struggling with,
Oh,
taking
for
out.
sure, yeah.
So I mean, it's like when your main focal enemy is a woman and she's just whooping everybody's ass.
Oh, she was a badass. When she was standing out the side of that ship with that just massive Gatling gun, and she just kind of goes like, I got this.
Yeah.
And just owns that scene. Like, I really thought that she just owned that movie.
Yeah,
She owned
I was
both
talking
both
about Hela,
sides.
as the villain.
Oh, even her,
Yeah,
as the villain, totally.
Medusa.
Yeah.
yeah,
Medusa. That feel.
Medusa.
spiky Medusa.
I liked how it didn't have to constantly be like, "Whoa, they're chicks." It's just like they're badass. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, it wasn't
Right.
like
No, that was it.
blatant. It
They-
wasn't slapped in
Yeah.
your face. Like
It was just their characters. It's not their characters because they're women. It's just their characters, and oh, they're women, and oh, they're cool.
But let's not
Totally.
use chicks. Let's use something more appropriate, like
I see.
broads.
yeah.
God,
Dames.
I really thought they
Wasn't
owned that
expecting
movie.
that.
That movie
Oh,
would
I know.
not.
If they're standing in front of me, it's Madame.
Yeah. I just kept thinking as I watched it, damn, like, they just owned it. Like, really, really did. I really thought the supporting cast in this movie was outstanding. I thought that
Yes.
Loki again, just
Jeff
I'm-
Goldblum.
and Jeff Goldblum, he was so good, right?
Killing it,
He
man.
just talk
my
about,
God.
and
I
again,
walled.
I think he embodied that that whole idea that they're on another level. They just are. They're not dealing with, how do I make my house payments this month? And like, how do I do? They're not like normal human
They're not
problems,
normal like
right?
Matt Damon's.
No, right? That was so cool.
That was
Those-
awesome.
Those funny cameos that were in there. Yeah. Yeah.
That part
was pretty good.
awesome.
Yes, it was super good. Even the way the movie poked fun at itself throughout the movie.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, really good.
I thought that was phenomenal.
I really came away from this movie. I don't know. I think if you're a nerd at all and you're hungering for more nerdy things, there's a Netflix movie that you can watch. It's like 30 minutes. It will be the best 30 minutes of your life. You should watch it. It's called Kung Fury. And I think this was such... It stirred up those same feelings in me when I watched this whole... What was it? Over 2 hours?
It was
for
long.
Thor, it was a long movie.
It didn't feel like it.
No,
but
there was no point in this that I didn't think, what are they going to do next? And then they would just do it and take it to that next level. And it never feel like too much. It was
even
just
when you
what I
went-
wanted.
Oh, great! I know what's gonna happen, right? I mean, like, oh, here comes Hulk. He's getting ready to bust in. I did not see it planning out the way it did.
Like when he jumped out of the ship.
Exactly. That's,
Yeah, right? I thought
right?
that same thing.
Like when
too.
that
It's
when
like,
that happened, I was
oh
like,
my God,
oh great, yeah,
Yeah.
Here comes Hulk. He's gonna come in, swing in, problem solved, right?
Which you got both of those
But-
scenarios, right?
but-
You totally
He
did.
Yeah,
sets it up like that. He's like, "You're gonna see who I really am," or whatever he says.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
jumps out.
Just faceplant, right?
Oh, it was so
It
good.
didn't
Oh,
work
God,
out.
man.
We weren't high enough. Whatever this answer is.
Yeah. Well, and
Wasn't
again,
pissed off yet. I guess.
Right, yeah.
Well, and I think it's a really good emphasis that the movie just counterpoints and balances itself so well. It really, really does.
Yeah.
It never takes itself too seriously. It really makes a point to just have a really good time the whole way through. I keep coming back to the word fun. This movie is so fun. It really, really is.
No, really, it literally seems like if I was flipping through a comic book and looking at each picture real quick, like everything is happening just perfectly like that.
Yeah, well, and I was
It
actually
doesn't
thinking...
dwell on something too long.
Oh, totally. I have like several Thor comics, and this has actually not only inspired me, I think, to go back and watch the other Thor movies, but I'm gonna really dive into the Thor comics that I do have. I have a pretty limited library, but I really want to read these with this new appreciation and understanding that Thor is dealing with things on a different level. He really is, and this movie just keeps driving that point home throughout the whole movie. It really does.
No, I agree. I agree completely.
Like it never clicked to me until this movie that it's just a different game that Thor is playing, and it gives him those other movies. I think you really have to watch from a different perspective, and this movie really puts you in the appropriate seat to see it from the perspective that Thor sees things from. And it's over the top. It's absurd. He's a god. The priority is the gods in this movie. He just deals with everything on a different level than everything else. And it's almost like this...
But full circle at the same time.
Oh, it totally is. It all comes back to dealing with what the Avengers have to deal with. And he finds, there's reasons for him to come back down and deal with it on this, like, mortal level.
No, I mean like full circle, like Stan Lee, big moral of the story kind of concept. Like, it's very humbling at the end as well.
Yeah, totally. I thought so too. Yeah, like despite the fact that they are gods, it's so humanized by the end, right?
Yeah.
It totally does. It does bring it all the way back around.
It really does. I was blown away with that aspect of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, I'm a god, I got this.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm a god, I got this, but we gotta go.
Yes. Well, and I'm really curious now, maybe this is a little more of a spoiler, but I'm really curious what's going to happen with the Hulk now, right? After this movie. Because he mentions in it, if I turn into the Hulk, I don't know that I'll come back. Right?
No, he says I will. He says he will not.
Yeah, and it's this really internal conflict between them. Again, it's like this movie was such an eye opener to the like internal workings of Thor and the Hulk and all these characters that were from this new and really fresh perspective that I just didn't really think to look at it from that way, right? And it really did open me up to like, oh, I just didn't consider that as I went into these other movies.
What did Thor keep saying to him? The sun is setting.
The sun is, yeah, right.
So,
He
yeah,
kept doing
I
the,
like it when he was, when he had that battle trying to calm him down.
He kept
Yeah.
rubbing his back, right? The sun is setting. Calm down. It's going to be okay. And,
Quit
saying that!
Whipping him around.
Yeah.
I love Loki's response to that too.
Oh, yeah.
What it feels like.
Yeah, right?
Well,
That
even
was-
when Loki first, I got the impression that in that scene, the classic one from all the trailers, it almost seemed like Loki was not aware either that the champion was Hulk.
All right.
Right? Like, he was also as dumbfounded and baffled by it as Thor was.
Yeah, because he wanted to leave when he saw him.
Right? He's like,
Here's a
and I love that scene
And
when
he points him out too.
My biggest,
That's my brother.
One of my
Yeah.
biggest complaints about the movie is if I'm gonna have that much electricity charging through me, the little thing in my neck's gonna get fried.
They think, but they're gods. They're aware that these are elite people. If your standard is the Hulk,
But they didn't know that going into it when they shot him in the neck with the thing,
but they still knew that the Hulk was the standard.
right? But still,
Space technology.
and
Right?
But
Yeah.
I mean, still, right? Come on.
Yeah.
And it was based around electricity, right? Don't you think at some point you'd be like, "Sweet, I got this."
Well, really, you'd think
Thanks.
if you're... Okay, I totally give it to you. You're right. If you're our Thor, you'd think the last thing that could contain you is some sort of electrical
Right.
device, right? It's like,
I mean-
oh, sweet. That's like an extra
I'll
battery
just-
to juice
right?
me up,
Yeah,
right?
throw
Yeah,
it
no,
up
I
a
totally get it.
double A's.
One of my favorite scenes from the movie was when the Hulk first came out, the classic scene from all the trailer that everybody's seen. When Jeff Goldblum and Loki both did that simultaneous lean forward with like shock in their face when Thor was actually contending with Hulk.
Yeah.
Like that scene was so... It just embodied everything that was in that trailer and just the surprise. It was the same thing I was feeling as a fan of Thor and this whole MCU and watching the movie. When that scene happens, you think you've seen everything by watching the trailers.
They didn't
and
spoil it.
They didn't really ruin it at all. I don't want to ruin it either, but
Yeah.
that moment when Loki and Jeff Goldblum, that's his name. right? That's who he is.
Yep.
When they both leaned forward, that was me in the theater at that moment. It really was. It was like, I remember watching that happening and thinking, this is so capturing everything I'm feeling about this movie in this moment. It was so good. It really was.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like out of everyone in that theater, you know, the whole
Karate chops. Jack's doing karate chops.
the whole 15, 20 people, I think
Yes.
that our group that we went with got it the most. There was a lot of like hysterical laughter from us in a row, and then not hearing it around us until it was like a classic joke.
Well, to be fair, we did have one for Loco. A couple of us. A couple brews. And then we did have a brew
Two of you.
before we saw the movie.
Two of you.
Two of us had a Four Loco. I don't know how the math works on that, but yes, two of us had a Four
That's an 8
Loco.
loco.
It's an 8
That's how
Loco.
the math works.
Several Loco.
Yeah.
But it's super, super good. I don't want to say too much about it because I really think it was that good. It really was. When a movie inspires me to go back and watch previous movies to enjoy them more and again, that I can't think of a bigger compliment to give a movie. Like, not only would I go see Thor Ragnarok again in the theater, I would totally pay that fee to go see it again. But I'm now inspired to not only read comics but go see those first two Thor movies again with fresh eyes because of this movie.
I agree. Technically, I still haven't bought a ticket to see it, so I can go pay for it for the first time. Thanks, man.
I don't.
Like, no, honey, I didn't buy a ticket before.
Yeah,
Just
right.
popcorn.
That's like one of your kids for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel better about my purchase. The more you know.
So, do we want to throw a number on Ragnarok? Should we do that?
I don't think it goes high enough.
I'm almost like in that boat. I was struggling this year. I really think, again, I compared to Kung Fury. I compare it to my other contender for best movie of the year, which is the latest Fast and Furious movie. The movie's so good. I left that theater with like tear-stained cheeks, and they were sore from the amount of laughing I was doing. Like, that movie was so amazingly what it was. And there were moments, I think I actually had more laugh out loud moments in Thor Ragnarok. Like, the four of us sitting together, I could hear us in the theater.
No, yeah.
All just laughing out loud, having such a good time watching this movie together. And
I agree completely. I'm looking at your chart here, and I'm going. I'm gonna say the Amazing Unicorn.
wow, you're going to give it a full
I am.
10.
I think that there's
That
no.
means you never need to watch anything else.
Done.
Right? That
I'm
is
fine.
pretty much our unicorn
I'm fine.
standard.
Do I
I
gotta
want to
tell?
run this by you
I'll
guys.
throw it
'cause,
in.
Okay, do it. Lay it on us.
The scoring chart. I've been
Privy
to
You got a
some-
discrepancy.
I've been privy to some shows that my kids watch, and there are unicorns with wings called pegacorns.
Pegacorns.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
don't
you
know,
want to
maybe-
ascend above the
You're gonna
I'm
give
saying-
you're gonna give it a pegacorn?
No, I'm saying that.
Oh, well, then why
maybe
bring it up?
Unicorn isn't the top. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So you're not
okay.
pegacorning it.
Yeah, no, but I'm right there. I'd say 9.75.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
see?
And now that I think about it, I think I scored this better than I scored
It is an amazing
Guardians of the
unicorn.
Galaxy. It's great, man. It's freaking awesome.
It's
Right.
really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I really can't
It's not.
emphasize.
It's not the unicorn. It's Amazing Unicorn. The's gone, man. It's right
Yeah.
in the middle.
Just amazing unicorn. It is right in the middle.
As
So
opposed to
what
the-
was it again? Just to be clear, your
I
score on
think it's
this
called
one?
I'm calling this a 9.75.
9.75. That's crazy score.
It's good.
That's a new.
really good.
That's beyond good. Like, that is 2 whole numbers above good. You're in the realm of amazing.
2.75.
I'm giving it a solid 9.
A solid 9.
Yeah, see,
all right.
I'm at 9.5. I'm right torn in between a 9 and a 10.
Yeah,
I won't be convinced to lower my score. I'm going 9.75.
I think so, because I watched the trailer and I really went into this thinking I've seen what this movie has to offer and I'm going to see more of this and I might be burnt out. Right? I really kind of went into it thinking that they've kind of oversold this. They did not. This movie is really, really good. If you love the trailers, this movie is not going to disappoint you at all. Again, it inspired me to watch old movies with this whole new, fresh perspective on them. I mean, I think I'm really close to the same boat as you guys. I have to give this movie a 9. I think this movie is really, really amazing. 9 is a clear-cut amazing, and I think there's no doubt this movie is amazing.
Amazing unicorn.
Right? Oh, yeah, because you amped it up a little bit.
Right.
So he's getting better than me, right? This is what I grew up. We grew up with together, right? The endless banter.
I gave you the opportunity to just agree with me,
I don't need to have kids. I just have you to contend with the rest of my life.
and you get mine when I die.
Yeah.
So hey, get ready.
Stay alive.
No, I mean, what are your real complaints? One of my biggest complaints is that obviously the electricity with Thor doesn't make sense, but
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? They explained it in the movie.
that you can't control.
the neck tasers,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's
that would
right. Like that should just like come on, Energizer Bunny him.
But to be okay, but also to be fair, in the movie,
I'm not done
before
complaining.
well, I'm just can I rebuttal your lightning thing? Yes, Thor's core power is electricity based, right? But I also think he didn't discover that until doing his weird flashbacky thing.
Until he
with
had
his
to
dad,
lose an eye?
right?
No, he
yeah,
knew.
no. After
He
all
knew.
that, but he didn't
He
know
knew.
how to hone his skill.
Right, because it only takes one eye to do it.
I guess
Come on.
something,
I
but
mean-
that didn't happen until after the thing was off his neck.
So he just decided to cave, like, oh, it kind of tingles.
Well, he removed it from his neck.
I'm used to your 120 when I deal with how many millions, right? I mean, come on.
I'm just saying. I guess if I'm going
Your
to
double
be
A's
devil's
on your
advocate-
remote are kicking my ass.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he's Thor maybe also should go back and watch his old movies and learn something
Maybe.
from what he's
Maybe.
learned from Ragnarok.
Maybe he just has to be ready to accept the lightning. You know,
Well,
Yeah.
it's just shocked.
All right, my number 2 complaint is I know it's the Thor movie, but I wish they would have capitalized a little bit more on Hulk. I wish we would have just a little bit more backstory on.
Oh,
his
really?
2 years of like missing,
Oh, I think it was just brainless fighting in the ring.
right? But it would have been kind of cool to like maybe let's see him fighting in the ring, without Thor knowing that he's fighting, kind of thing. Like just let's see him.
Doug's, right?
Like we all knew
Yeah.
who.
All his other enemies.
Yeah, right. They totally were.
If you're
Yeah.
gonna ruin it with the spoiler of in the theater or in the trailers of showing them fighting, let's just see him kind of pummel somebody that's pretty awesome real quick.
You would have liked to see
The gladiator kind of
a
aspect.
little more
yeah.
just Hulk action happening.
Maybe like Hulk murk a couple of guys
Just yeah,
before fighting
yeah,
Thor.
or like
Yeah, like
10 of
as-
them run out and he could just swing his big hammer real quick and be done with them all. I would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
just like kind of show him embracing that he is top dog.
Okay, I could kind of see that. I did wonder about the Hulk through the whole thing, and like there were several moments in the movie where I almost thought, I wish Hulk would shut up now. Like I was getting close to that point where it's like he's said enough things, and I want him to just smash stuff. But every point in this movie where I was like right on the verge of complaining about the Hulk, he would smash stuff again, or they would step away from it and go. He would do this really goofy comedy relief thing that was also
Sure.
relevant for him being the Hulk, and it was like it. Again, I come back to balanced. Like this movie was so balanced so well as far as all the characters. I don't think anybody was overshadowed in the whole movie. Everybody really got their chance to shine, and it's super good, really, really good. Yes, right. Silence. We all agree.
No, I agree. It's good. I'm
already scored
I'm
it.
struggling to make a complaint about it.
I don't know what he wants me to do. He keeps giving me hand signals. Say it, Jack. Just say it. What do you want me
I
to do?
gotta boost out in like a couple minutes.
Jack be
He wants me to wrap it up. Okay, so
Yeah, Jack, be quick.
we already threw our scores. Jack, did you give us a score? What do you give the score on the
A
movie?
solid 9. You dig?
Solid 9. Okay,
Yeah,
you
he
did.
said that.
Sorry, we've been drinking beer.
Wow.
So, the bottom line is, go see Thor Ragnarok. It's really, really good. Don't be afraid that the trailers have spoiled it for you. I hope we didn't spoil it for you. I really think I might go see it again.
And if we
Like,
did,
it was that good.
If we did, why are you watching?
Right?
And
Watch the
Quit
movie.
watching our show. Like, share, and subscribe. So,
Quit watching.
Lady
Don't
Nerds.
watch new review.
Lady Nerds, Chris Hemsworth has his shirt off for several scenes, from what I recall. So
yeah, there you go, right?
my wife's a big fan.
It's appealing. Yeah. You're going to get to go see it again with your wife.
I was just like, he takes his shirt off.
Yeah, there you go, right? Sold.
I heard if you like and subscribe enough to Nerdbuzzed, Channing Tatum's also going to join in the scene.
And take his shirt
yeah,
off, too.
Yeah, so like and subscribe. Don't forget.
Lucas is going to arrange that.
I think Magic Mike 3.
Yeah.
I have nothing left, but
Wait, are you gonna slap some scores?
We should slap some scores. Let's review the beer.
Some quick scores.
All right, because Jack's got to bounce, and it's his show. So, what do we guys think of? What do we think of our beer?
I liked it. So my cup's empty.
It's good.
I think it's pretty good too. I think by the end, it's kind of taken on a little bit of an alcohol-y taste. But again, it's got that 9%. I'm okay with it.
But not like a 9% would. As it warms up, I guess it doesn't have that 9% flavor to it. I would say if anything, it kind of has that. It's almost like a banana-y.
Oh, I think in my Nerdbuzzed experience, that means weedy. No, yeasty. Sorry, yeasty. Those are the yeast esters.
I made some really way too yeasty beers in my brewing days, and this isn't it.
Okay.
No, I don't know what it is. We'll have to, get Jeremiah on board here, I guess, and pour him a drink. And
I might have one in the fridge for him.
Yeah, figures.
Because I'm a bro like that.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys are bros.
Represent.
So, no, I
Legally bound bro.
It's a good beer. I liked it. It was good.
Would you... Okay, so the real
It's better
question
than
is...
okay. I would drink it again, but it wouldn't be my go-to.
So you wouldn't put it... by the way, that's Goku's third son. Jack's rolling his eyes over. You know it's true, Jack. Don't deny it.
It's my go-10.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty well balanced. I'm always afraid. I'm getting more and more afraid of these high number IPAs, which I know this is a triple. I'm still going to kind of call it that because it tastes like that. But I really think there's a lot of other elements to the beer that kind of round it out. So I'm going to give it, I'm going to say like a 7.75.
Oh, hi.
It's borderline great for me. I would totally keep this in my beer fridge. I actually have another one in my beer fridge. And I would totally drink this on a GTA Tuesday. I think it would totally accomplish the job. Put me in the right mind frame to destroy the city.
I could see that. I can see where you're going.
Yeah. That all
My
makes
problem
sense.
is I like to have more than one. I would not have two.
Right?
I feel like if I had two of these, game over.
I would agree with that. This might be a bad idea to have 44 ounces of.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
That might be for local. What do you think, Josh? Did you throw a number?
yeah.
You already did.
Yeah, I
I've
would say-
totally lost
I would
track
say
of everything.
Jeremiah's gone.
7
Nothing
for
makes
right?
sense.
I don't know what to do
What
anymore.
we do?
Let's cheers. I'm the only one that has anything left. I clearly talk too much.
Which we all know.
Right?
We've
Lucas,
all
what's
seen
your
the
number?
podcast.
Oh, Lucas didn't give it. Oh, now it's Jack's fault. I like it. I like
What?
that it came full
How's my
circle.
fault?
My number on what?
The beer.
I wish we had a
You missed
picture
that?
of you right now that would pop up on there.
I
wanna
said,
see it.
I did say
You didn't say
better
anything.
than okay.
Oh, okay, 6.
Nice. Lucas will post that later.
No.
So I'm gonna be the only one drinking for you nerds out there.
Oh, I got a little
so
back
like,
walk.
share, subscribe. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Shrink that page.
And go see Thor Ragnarok. It's so amazing. It
bring your
really, really
kids.
is.
Bring your wife.
Yeah, right.
Whole family.
Everybody.
It's family friendly.
It's worth the $50. Is that? That's got like $60. That's an expensive ticket for you, Josh.
It is.
Would you pay that? Is that the definitive answer?
Ooh.
Would you pay to take your whole family to go see that movie again?
I got some free movie tickets to like Regal Cinema.
Now
Nope.
Now
Nope.
you're cheating.
Nope.
That's
nope.
not what I
you
asked.
gotta pay. You gotta pay.
Yeah.
Would you, if you cash in the wallet?
You got to
Slap
take all
it
the
down.
I
kids
wouldn't take
and
all
your
of them.
wife
I wouldn't take all of them.
How old is the
because
youngest?
it's not appropriate, or because it's too expensive. Let's get to the core of the issue.
I don't think that. Well, I've got certain kids that wouldn't like it. They're just not into that kind of stuff. But my two oldest would love it.
If
I
it
would
was
take
your
that.
birthday and you had to go pick a movie, would you take the whole family to see this movie for
Yeah.
your birthday?
Yep.
Yep.
So that's-
put up with it,
yeah,
kids,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty big
That's
kudos.
a big.
It's
Totally,
a good movie.
It is.
Yeah.
To all the nerds, through all the fuzz,
Bottoms up.
Let's get nerd buzz.
I messed it up. It's fine.
Just run the end, the outro, and we all
One job.
Well, thanks for joining me, you guys. Hey, it's awesome having you on.
Oh, it's cool.
Marcus and Jeremiah, you're on Nerdbuzzed.
My beer is super light, so I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Let's get
We can do an
Nerdbuzzed.
after party.
All right.